Well, welcome back to part 2 of the Spa Sisters podcast with Gosia Newell, direct from Fota Island. We had a wonderful conversation with you earlier on about everything to do with pre-pandemic, post-pandemic therapist wellbeing. And I'm going to hand over now to my co-host, Carly, who's got some more questions for you because we just love what you've been telling us and sharing with us. So we want a bit more of that lovely knowledge and insight.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to ask, and thank you for letting us pick your brains, Gosia. So my questions are, the first one is, what in your opinion are the greatest challenges being faced today in the spa world?
Thank you very much again, and welcome everyone to our part 2. Okay, so I think it is very business related question, so probably a perfect question for spa manager. What I feel, me personally, recruitment is a challenging, has been, and not only because there are not enough therapists out there. Yes, basically the colleges don't produce enough therapists for the spa industry, but also because the business must adjust their personal commitment, lifestyles, availability, and needs. I think pandemic showed us and taught us that we have to look after ourselves more than ever before. So therapists and spas, staff members, they basically do it. And thank God they do it. I've never had it before that the therapists would come to work with us and they would ask for not more than 4 days work per week. Amazing, amazing. That's what we need. We need the life balance. So I'm actually very, very excited about this, because then therapists can rest, they can have their own personal lives, but still, the recruitment would be challenging. Also, the salary is a very challenging aspect, and not only here in Ireland, but also across the world in the whole spa industry. I'm not going to go into details with this topic because we could probably end up with the night time. But those two, I think they are main. And also expectations of customers are very high. They always been high, but they are the highest ever. And for business, it can be difficult in terms of delivering that service for many reasons. But again, I don't want to go to much details on this.
Is it tempting for you, like you said, you're excited that therapists are looking after their work-life balance, maybe, doing slightly less to be better at when they do it. But at the same time, the recruitment issue kind of opposes that. You need therapists in the spa to fulfill the guests' needs. So is that something that is in balance, or is just a constant battle?
No, it's balanced, I'd say. For now, for the last few months, probably 3-4 months, I kind of started feeling balanced. The reason I didn't feel it before was the struggle of having therapists was not only because of recruitment and that we were looking for them, but COVID and illness and many other things. So I think for the last kind of 3 months, I could feel the balance. And
just leading on to the next question then, it sounds like your therapists are quite, what's the word I'm looking for, that they've got their own things going on outside of their work as well. But do you have any kind of main concerns that you're hearing from therapists? And what do they want more from their employer? So sounds like they've got a nice balance too, but is there, an underlying message you're hearing from them which would help their work-life balance?
Absolutely, every day.
Yeah.
Every day, yes. They're looking for improvement of the workplace every day. They're looking for healthy work conditions. Everything they need to be able to provide treatments, which is again kind of obvious thing, but they still want this to make sure that they have all this because they want to enjoy delivering the treatment. So if they don't have the work conditions, how are they going to do it? Air conditioning, adjustable treatments offered that is discussed with them. All this they're looking for, and that must be written solid in the rock.
Do you think that, do you struggle to get therapists into a place of balancing their business mind, or that their work alongside, you know, the fact that their work involves a lot of passion and heart, and those two things, when they merge together, they can be a bit blurry? So therapists,
I think it's up to us. I think it's up to us, spa managers, to share with them, not much, because it's not their job, it's not their responsibility, but they need to know a bit of business inside of the spa. Absolutely.
but
So
also kind of like splitting it, like having some practices in your spa where, you know, when they're in the treatment room, that's when they give their energy and their heart work, and then they need to almost kind of snap out of that when they're in their functioning mode in the spa, you know, so that everything doesn't get too emotional and too personal, if you like.
Overwhelming. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But their needs are totally different than that they had before pandemic, because of the self-care and because of they looking after themselves. They're looking for acceptation, almost 100, I would say almost 100% acceptation of their own life, personal life, commitments, the flexibility with the rota. They have commitment with children and family members and all this. They really do want the acceptation of that. They definitely looking for the motivation, the appraisals, the recognition of their job, the development, absolutely development, the structure. That was one of the things even pre-pandemic, I started doing it. The structure in the spa, the senior therapists, the supervisors for many different areas in the spa, showing them that there is some career pathway for them as well. Because what I don't like is, and that's probably why sometimes we struggle with getting new therapists and people who will go to spa and beauty colleges, that what am I going to do for my whole life? Am I going to be spa therapist 20, 30, 40 years? They need to realize, and that's up to us again, there is progression, there is development, and there is many different things and jobs you can do in spa industry. Yes, spa therapist, I think, me personally, I cannot imagine someone who is spa manager and not being qualified therapist with hands-on for at least 5 years. How are you going to understand what's going on inside the treatment room? You are not. You might be amazing business person and, a brain and everything, but like, you cannot understand the, what's the word? The roots, not the roots, the inside, the detailed job. Absolutely.
So just
anyway,
being completely relatable to the team that you're working with.
Absolutely, yes. And of course, what they're looking for is as well is more money. So recognition of the profession that therapist has, the qualification and the job they're doing, which completely it's a separate subject, obviously, for different chat. But it's not only here; it's a world spa industry.
This topic is definitely sort of skipped around, and people tread on eggshells when we discuss this topic, and putting it out there. Julie and I are ready to smash this topic open and really reveal and get some movement on it, because it is one of those things that is a big block.
But in general, what is nice as well and makes me happy is that people, passionate therapists, they're looking for happy place to work, happy people to work with, and they want to be happy. They want to enjoy their job. So you know, we cannot only see their demands. Oh, I want this, that, and you have to accept whatever I have in my personal life. They want to be happy, and us making this empathic and compassionate solution for them will make that place happy, and the business will be great.
Yeah. And just not at the cost.
Don't get me wrong, it's very difficult.
Yeah, because obviously,
because maybe I sound like, oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it is difficult. It's very, very difficult, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, and I think this is why we love working with therapists, because they are it's a very special area of work, and people actually, I think, need to be aware that when we're working with very soft, subtle, heart-centered people, there's almost a vulnerability there, and what we don't want is to bring them into this environment and empower them and then kind of demoralize them and where they kind of lose their sense of self-worth, because actually they're doing all this but at the cost of like feeling not valued, and
Absolutely.
that's a big issue. But moving on to my next question, which kind of links with that, is that do you think therapists are ready for changes that are coming in our industry? Like you say, the guest demands are higher. They're more complex, I think, especially around topics such as mental health, and having the skill set to be able to deal with a more complex guest that is turning to the spa for not just the water, the foundation of what a spa is, like you said.
Yeah, and treatment.
Spa, it's not a place now of necessarily luxury and pampering. It's a place where people want to go because they actually need more help in understanding who they are, what's going on, where they want to be, retreating and learning some self-development. Are therapists ready to deal with the more complex guests that are coming in the doors nowadays?
I think as a therapist, they are ready. Obviously, we are touching here on upskilling. So if we are talking about more complex offer and service that we are going to deliver in the spas, not only coming for treatment or hydrotherapy bath, but also all these complex aspects like meditation, we might have, and that's actually what I was thinking recently. And because I'm lucky, I have one therapist who is qualified in it. It's the nutritional. Julie, you are qualified nutritionist.
Yes,
am I
right?
Yes,
that's right.
Exactly. Yeah. People will be coming and having treatments, but they will be looking for sitting with the nutritionist and having a chat about those aspects as well. So I think therapists, they are ready in their mindset, but are they ready with the skills? Probably not. So again, it's up to spa managers. What am I going to do? Am I going to change my spa service? Am I going to change my offer because of the trends and the changes that are coming ahead? And if you say, yes, I'm going to do it, how are you going to deal with the skills of and knowledge of the therapists? Are they going to upskill themselves? Are you going to organize yourself, bring someone on site and give them education for everything what's coming? But I think therapists, yes, they are ready, I think.
Good. And do you think it's so, well, I guess it is not solely their responsibility to upskill. They need some motivation from their team and their management programs that are.
If I'm the one who are bringing these changes, I have to make the changes first with my team, so they are ready for it.
Yeah. So we've kind of merged two of our questions there, but finally, I know you place high regard on your own well-being. So tell us a bit about the things that you do to keep healthy, fit, and more importantly, mentally sane in the chaos that is the spa industry. And I say that kind of lightly, but also we all know that obviously you've got that beautiful setting behind you. It's stunning. The spa is stunning and beautifully aesthetically pleasing, but what it takes to get that to a point of just perfection is an awful lot of hard work, sweat, tears, and
I know.
tell me how you stay on top of it all, Gosia. Do you have meltdowns when you
Myself?
go home?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, yes, I do, but who doesn't?
Exactly. The
It's how we
human
deal
element.
with it.
We remember that we're human again, right?
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, I would even recommend to show it to your staff members that you have that day as well.
Yeah, of course, being completely
And
transparent.
then you see the shock on their faces. That's impossible. You? Yeah, but yeah, that's very linked to the previous question with the upskilling and you know, their jobs and toolkit, what therapists have for the future. I think and I feel that therapists shouldn't be worried in general, and that has been even before pandemic, about their profession being needed in our world what we live in. I think the spa industry has been and will be exploding even more and growing. So the job is there, the security of the job and their profession needed is there. I think it's more up to, depends on very individual therapist needs and where do they see themselves in the future and what do they want and what their goal is. Obviously, again, what we just said about spa itself as the workplace, if the spa manager is going to change it and deliver different service, again, they have to meet their therapist needs for education. But and again, I say it because you can be therapist your whole life and there is nothing wrong with it. And I know myself personally, many therapists has been doing therapy for many years. And it's okay as well. Not everyone wants to be a teacher in the beauty college. Not everyone wants to be spa manager or supervisor. But if you want to do it, you need to educate yourself. Beauty college or spa college, two years therapy college, CDESCO qualifications won't give you experience is very important, but you need a bit of more education. If you want to be a teacher, you should do the teaching course. If you want to be a supervisor and management, you need to get a little bit of knowledge of the business and just management and business knowledge and skills.
So, Gosia, give us 3 or 4 takeaways that you want to share of how you self-care every day.
Myself, personally, yes. Okay, so again, not everyone is the same, and I'm going to say it as a completely myself, Gosia here. So my solid things, there is a good few of them. I always start day with warm water with lemon. My dad always was saying, you cannot have anything cold on your stomach when you wake up.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I don't know, I'm not going to go into science and all this, but I just listened to him. And since he taught me that, and since I remember, I just do it. And it feels good, it feels comforting. So even when I go to my workout in the morning, I actually have in my bottle warm water instead of cold. Yeah. Even during the very hot weather, what we had for last 2 months, I was still drinking warm water because it's the stomach, it's the inside, the comforting thing. Workouts for me is a very big. This is my therapy. The workout, physical workout, is my therapy. Completely switching off, getting rid of the toxins and stimulating the endorphins and happy hormones. Workout is a must. 3 up to 5 days per week. Wow. Yoga session 1 twice per week, definitely. After this workout, what I do, I need stretching. But also for many yoga teachers, they do it, and I think yoga sessions always should involved a bit of meditation and breath work. So I really enjoy that. It's completely switching off and not holding to any thoughts. So I love my yoga. Turn off your phone, email, work related as soon as you get out from the place. If there will be a fire, they are not going to call you. They will call the fire brigade. That's one, and they all know that. And the therapists know, staff members know, there is always someone there on duty who can help. And I need my time off. It's the work and life balance. If I'm working 100%. But when I'm off, I'm also off 100%. Spend quality time with your husband, partner, with your children, with your friends, and never ever forget to spend quality time with yourself only, alone, nobody else. And I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be painting or again meditation, or it's a breath work, or it's a painting. Just do it as a habit. Do it even 10 minutes every day, just with yourself, and love yourself. If you are not looking after yourself, you don't love yourself, you are not going to spread that love to yourself with others. So if you don't do it to yourself, nobody will do it for you. If there is some downtime, negative thoughts, negative time, it came, but it will go. So don't hold onto it, because it will go. It's very difficult to do it, and it probably involves practicing, but just don't hold to the thought, don't hold to the event, move on. And I know it is difficult because I have been experiencing this well. So it's a learning path of doing it, actually. And again, I do my things, you do your things. Everyone is doing their own things. There is no gold prescription. Here you go. That's your happy life. Do this, and you will be happy. There is no. Everyone is different, and everything, different things work for different people. And one more thing, learn how to give empathy and compassion. Years back, I have been working with one of my colleagues here in the spa industry. Her name is Kim. I've never ever met anyone so empathic and compassionate like her. I started learning from her, and then definitely the HR course and the self-care and mental health module, what I did during pandemic, that gave me a lot of knowledge. Again, every situation is different, and I learn from them. But I think compassion and empathy not only will change, so giving empathy and compassion not only will change others people's life, but it will change actually your life and your perspective of view of the life.
How beautiful. Thank you so much. Nice place to end today, on compassion and empathy. Two very great words. I think they're part of what the spa senses, what you need. If we could, like the 5 senses that we have, we also have the 5 spa senses, perhaps, and compassion and empathy and passion are all the great ones there. So thank you so much, Gosia, for your time today. It's been
thank you very much.
And thank you, Carly, as well, for your questions today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
It's great to see you.
And we would love it if you could share our podcast with your team, Gosia.
Absolutely, I will.
On Instagram, following our page and our email.
Absolutely.
Just connect.
You will see a lot. I actually watched a few episodes of yours as well, so I keep an eye on you.
All right. Okay, that's great to know that I'm not the only one stalking.
No, absolutely no.
All right.
You're doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.